and welcome to Wednesday.
Howdy, folks. How we doing?
Mike is all right. We're good.
Yeah, you're good.
It was a sketchy minute or two before the show.
Yeah, it was. It got a little weird right there. You were being silenced by the man. It sounded like
Everything has been weird today, and I have been silenced by quite a few people on Facebook. So we are going to run through the names of some of those people on Facebook because I would like to just go through the dialogue that took place today.
Sure.
And get your reaction to some of this, and get the listeners' reaction to some of this. Should I wait until there's more people watching so that everybody can look up these names one at a time, and you can look at them and comment on Facebook and tell them what you think?
Yeah, give it a couple minutes. Let people get settled in.
Because we've come to a point in this country. I was talking to somebody on the way home today about this, and I don't understand. And they tried to explain it to me, and it still doesn't make any fucking sense. So if I disagree with you, I'm a racist, I'm a homophobe, I'm everything that is wrong with this world. If I disagree with your point of view, or if I don't want to be called a racist, and then I get told, oh, by the way, that it's Trump's fault, of all people, that we are in the way we are today on social media. It's not Mark Zuckerberg's fault, who created this platform that we can all share each other's ideas, and everybody wants to be famous for 15 fucking minutes. I hate to tell these assholes that are on Facebook that I'm going to read their names. I am famous. I don't need 15 minutes. Now, granted, it's on a small scale. It's Cleveland and
local famous, yeah.
That's fine. But I've been doing it for 25 years on the radio in the same market.
Sure.
And, you as well have been doing this stuff, the podcast world. You as well are famous.
Yeah, on some level, I guess.
Than all of these fucking morons that want their 5 minutes of fame posting shit online.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, and you know as well as I do, and this is no shock to anybody, but anybody that calls anybody a racist anymore they think that word still has value or meaning. Like, people care. I'll say it before you read anything, because it absolves me the need to watch my tone.
Yes.
Racist, homophobe, xenophobe, Jewophobe. What else am I not allowed?
Islamophobe.
Which one?
Islamophobe.
Islamophobe, all of them. I'm every phobe you can think of. Dietophobe. Sexist, racist,
misogynist,
puritanist, misogynist, anything you want to put on my back, put it on the jury. I read my list of ists and phobes reads longer than the list of quarterbacks on the back of a Browns jersey. I gladly wear them all, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm not going to watch what I say because some fucking cocksucking pussy tells me how to think or speak. I will not do it. I will not do it. I'm not going to be scared. Oh, no, you called me a racist. Well, maybe my mother's friend's sister might find out. They might think you're right. Who gives a shit?
I'm certainly not going to say it's Donald Trump's fault for making people
of course
the way that they are today. The climate in this country has been building for a long time.
Well, you remember those perfectly pleasant years on Facebook when Obama was president.
Oh, yeah, those were great. Good times.
Those were real pleasant times.
Yeah, I'm sure that was Trump's fault.
Well, that was Trump. There were
racist people out there. There were racist people out there when Obama was president.
Of course.
And I wouldn't stand up for that either.
Well, but now,
who cares?
Unfortunately, because they got away with it with Obama, that anytime you disagreed with his policies, that they could call you racist and you shut the fuck up. Now they're going to use that with Kamala. They are going to do that all the time.
That's fact. Trump just made everyone a lot more comfortable with being an asshole. And I was an asshole long before Trump. I hate to tell you that.
I disagree with that statement.
Facebook made people more comfortable with being an asshole. Twitter made people more comfortable with being an asshole.
Yeah. It's not Donald Trump.
People the ability to post whatever they want to post with no consequences, other than maybe they're going to shut your account down for a month. That's the problem.
I miss the days where you could just punch somebody in their fucking face. I miss those days.
When you gave people the ability to go online and say that they wish a shooter would have assassinated a former president, that's not Donald Trump's fault. That's the people that put this shit together, and people like you, Matt, who don't recognize that.
Don't want to.
And everything we say will offend somebody today. I'm sick of that. Amen. All right, so let me just give you a brief synopsis of what happened on Facebook today.
Sure.
And I got to learn my lesson, dude. I really do. I just got to shut up and stop posting stuff because I'm no different than these assholes now. So I can't get in trouble for saying names, right?
Facebook phobe.
Can I get in trouble for saying names?
Oh, it's public forum. You're just reading what's said out there, right?
Read what was out there.
And offering your opinion.
So Shayna Naomi. Shayna, S-H-A-N-A-S-H-A-Y-N-A, Naomi. I don't know how I'm friends with her, but she's friends with a lot of people that I've worked with for a lot of years. I don't know who she is. Make no mistake, anyone using the phrase DEI hire is euphemistically using the N-word.
Okay.
So if you say that Kamala Harris was a DEI hire, oh, by the way, the Democrats and the liberals are the ones that came up with DEI. What is it? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. They're the ones that came up with it. They're the ones that came up with the standards for you have to start hiring people that are different, not because of their quality of work or anything else, but because they're different on how they look or who they have sex with, and you need to have inclusion and everything.
Yeah.
We don't work on a meritocracy anymore where it's based on, how well you work, how hard you work. You know what? I think I work pretty damn hard, and there are jobs that have been passed over for better candidates. And you know what? In my mind, I know that they were better candidates, and they deserve the job more than I do. And it had nothing to do with color of skin. It had nothing to do with whether they fuck men or not. It had to do with they were just better at the job than me. But that's not the way we work anymore. So Shayna decides to post, make no mistake, anyone using the phrase DEI hire is euphemistically using the N-word.
Okay.
So now let me see what I said. I said, this is just getting stupid. It's to the point where I can't respond to stupidity because I'll be called an ist of some sort. Yeah. That's all I said. It has now gone to like 50-some comments.
Well, just before you go, before you go any further, I see that Shayna's page. I just went to it here on Fuckbook, and of course, her big graphic is the LGBTQIA ABC 123.
Yes, there are colors in a flag that I don't even recognize, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I don't recognize that flag either.
I mean, if you look at her city, she's not even brave enough to put where she lives. What did
that
she say?
Must be, I don't know what the little circle is, and that color pattern, does that represent what?
I don't know.
Nambla and kid fucking too?
I don't know what that.
It might be.
So
are you pro kid fucking, Shayna? Just asking.
So that's all I said was I just it's to the point where I can't say anything because I'm going to be called an ist of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think that's pretty harmless, don't you?
That wasn't too bad, no.
Based on this statement and its context, I feel quite comfortable suspecting that you're essentially a stupidist, someone who has no qualms about displaying your inherent stupidity. Congratulations.
There. I'd wear that badge.
I said, I don't dislike her because of race. I dislike her because she's not that bright. That's all I said.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm having my job posted online.
So what?
Please explain to me how she's not that bright. Graduated from Howard, then got her law degree from UC, blah, 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 blah. I said, if I have to explain to you, they haven't paid attention the past 3 years. And then I just stopped because, I don't, at this point, it's just repetitive. Now you're just arguing with yourself. Basically, you have no argument since you can't explain or defend your assertion. Got it.
Why would you? Why do you need to?
Well,
why do you need to justify your opinion to some useless, unknown twat named Shayna on fucking Facebook? Who cares what this dumb bitch says?
And all the other people that have jumped in, and they're all left.
Who cares?
All across the country.
And they're all twats. So just be a twatist and avoid them all.
Yeah.
That's your best plan. Just be a twatist. Avoid all twats. That would save you so much time, Seth.
Wait, Kamala had a much bigger resume than J.D. Vance. He's more DEI than she is.
Who gives a shit? They weren't talking about J.D. Vance.
No, we weren't talking about J.D. Vance. Talking about Kamala, who, I mean, I'm not going to get into the whole sleeping her way to the top stuff because that's whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
Ask Montel Williams' dick if she's qualified, Matt. How about
there you
that?
go, Matt. Ask
How
her
about that, Matt? Ask
And then
Kamala how Montel's dick tasted, if it tasted different on the TV from off it. Shut the fuck up, you dumb shit.
And then ask her how she did in the primary. So, when she was trying to be the next presidential candidate, zero. She had to drop out because there was nobody that was in her corner. Nobody.
Yeah.
And then I did make another comment on the post. I said something to the effect of, I don't understand why you're mad at me. The left took away your ability to vote for a candidate, which is what they did.
Don't care. It wasn't their candidate.
I mean, isn't that what they did? They literally took the ability of the left, who they voted for Biden, oh, by the way. Biden was their candidate. Now you have no candidate because Biden stepped out of the race. So they took the ability of the people to vote for their candidate away from them.
Yeah,
that is the threat to democracy. That is what democracy is all about.
Right.
They didn't have a choice to vote for Kamala or not. You know what I think? I think Biden fucked them. I think Biden purposely said, I'm going to endorse Kamala because he knows what a joke she is, and he stuck her with him. Yeah. That dumb bastard had his entire plan in place from the very beginning. He said he had to hire somebody that was going to be a black woman. That's what he wanted to do. He went through the entire list. Stacey Abrams was on the list. Thank God she didn't get it.
I need to control my emotions. All right, I'll control them. Here we go. Bye, Matt. Emotions controlled.
Well, there you go.
See ya.
It's just been one of those days, man. I mean, how can you argue with people that have no argument? If you try to tell them something based in fact, they don't want to hear it.
Well, the point is, I'm going to disagree slightly with you here, only slightly. I don't think it's about the argument. I think your twat friend Shayna here is looking for the argument. You didn't post anything looking for an argument.
No.
You made a statement. She turned it into an argument, and you took the bait.
I did.
You got to stop taking the bait.
I got to stop taking the bait, man. I just don't. But I get so infuriated. Look, I don't care. Again, if you don't like Trump, I don't care if it was Ron DeSantis in there. I would have voted for Ron DeSantis. If it was Vivek Ramaswamy, I would have voted for Vivek or whatever his name is. I mean, I don't understand though.
Let me give you a simple way to think about this, Seth, and hear me all the way out before you jump in. Have you ever encountered a truly retarded child?
Mentally challenged? Yes.
Yes. Retarded.
Yes.
I don't play by their playbook on words either. Retarded. If you run into a retarded child, do you think you could teach him or her, geometry?
No, probably not.
How many times would you keep trying to teach them a geometry problem before you realize that they're retarded and they can't figure out a geometry problem?
A couple of times and I'm out. Yeah.
And then you would be done.
Yes.
These are retards. You're spitting geometry.
I know.
Use that example.
But how did half the country become mentally challenged kids?
Because their teacher has been on TV. Their teacher's been Rachel Maddow and Anderson Cooper.
Hey, look, I know I'm going to pay for this statement. I am going to, but I started listening to Rover again because I'm just trying to find something interesting to listen to in the morning.
Keep trying.
Sometimes I like the show, but again, sometimes you're dealing with people that I just don't understand. I don't understand how you can always be anti-cop. I don't understand how. I mean, there's people on that show that if you say the word police or cop, they freak the fuck out and immediately think they're out to murder people every single day of their lives. They literally think that people get up in the morning and are officers of the law and are going to get up in the morning, they put on their uniform, and their plan while they're having breakfast before they go on duty is how many people am I going to shoot today? Especially how many black people am I going to shoot today?
Right.
That's what they think. They honestly believe that's what happens. I don't get it.
Yeah, well, notice they don't have any cop-free Rover fests either.
Yeah, of course. There's plenty of police and security at their.
Yeah, because when they're useful, but when not, let's shit on them.
I mean, how many black people were shot at Roverfest? I don't know. Maybe there was a bunch, or maybe
how many black people go to Roverfest?
Well, they've had like Flo Rida and stuff. I'm assuming didn't you want to protect Flo Rida from getting shot? But the cops shoot everybody according to them. I listened for 2 days, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking the cops are out there just shooting everybody like it was across the street.
Yeah. Well, dude, it all comes down to what I've always thought is a very simple fact, which is if you judge by a grouping, you're wrong. Any judgment you can make about any group is wrong. Women can't drive. Black guys got big dicks. Chinese guys do math well. Pick any stereotype you want to pick. They're always wrong. They're always wrong. You just need to find one small-dicked black guy or one guy that can't do 2 + 3 is 5 in the Asian community, and it proves the whole stereotype wrong. So there's that. So cops being bad, that's just wrong. Are there bad cops? Sure.
Just like everybody, though.
Just like there's bad plumbers and nurses and doctors and, roofers and everything else.
And look, dude, I understand I'm a pitbull on his ass, so he doesn't care what the hell I say about him. And I got nothing against him. But when I turned on the show the past couple of days, it's like every cop is bad. Oh, my God. I don't know where this all came from because, I mean.
Who's the culprit? Rover or Dieter?
No, not Dieter. But, I mean, we're so divided, and it really is frustrating. I mean, I'm guilty of it, too, because I despise the challenge people that I talk to that don't understand facts. And so, I mean, I guess, I'm guilty of it too, but I don't know how we end it. I don't know.
We don't.
I mean,
you got to accept that part.
You call Mike and try to find out the answer.
Dude, there's no ending it. It's not going to get fixed. It's broken.
But I listen to some of these people that are just attacking the shit out of me for what? Because I disagree with you? Because I don't want to be called a racist because I don't like Kamala Harris. I don't like Kamala Harris because she's stupid. Because if you listen to her clips, she's dumb. When she's trying to explain Russia and Ukraine, she sounds like a moron. And so I don't want that as the president of the United States. Look, Trump has said some stupid shit too, but his policies make up for where he lacks in some of his decorum. And so I want the country to run right. And I don't think she's qualified to do it. I don't think she's qualified to do anything. When she's out there, I mean, there's tapes of her talking about how great the riots were back in Minneapolis. And, these are people expressing their rights. I mean, people were burning down buildings. People were dying.
Yeah, that was okay.
It's so beyond.
You're forgetting that those were mostly peaceful?
I forgot. Those were mostly peaceful riots. When they burned down a Wendy's, which I'm very sad about.
Well, that's probably what they would say about the Trump assassination. No, those are mostly peaceful people.
Oh, yeah.
Except that one guy that shot at him.
Except for that one guy that had 3 offshore bank accounts, by the way.
Yeah.
The 20-year-old with a rifle, a rangefinder, a ladder, and climbed up onto a roof with no Secret Service knowing that he was there. But he had offshore bank accounts, too. Yeah. Don't. Dude, nothing to see here.
Well, those people offshore paying him are probably mostly peaceful.
I'm sure they are.
Mostly peaceful people.
Chief, whatever resigns. I'm sure that she has nothing to hide here. No,
sure, most of her life is peaceful.
Oh, yes. While she was guarding Fritos, everything was peaceful. Now, not so much. And she's hiding something. We're in a fucking mess beyond belief, and I don't know what we can do about it. And
there's nothing. Well, there's nothing that should tell you. There's nothing you're going to do to fix it. There's nothing. The only thing you can do is do you. That's the only thing you can do is be you. Don't worry about what anybody else says. Who cares? Why do you care what anybody says? I mean, I can't live my life. I used to be just like you. I used to write books on every stupid comment on Facebook. Now I just can't be bothered with them. It's just like, yeah, you're too fucking stupid for my time. And I just don't waste my time on them. I just can't. It's not worth your time anymore. You're never going to change them. Tell me about that Facebook argument where somebody changed their mind and said, you know what, you're right.
Well, see, that's eventually I got so fed up with all the harassment that I was getting on there for making one comment that I said, hey, look, man, I'm never going to change your mind. Well, the argument, it's not even worth the argument at this point. I said, have a great day. And I said, have a wonderful day. And that was it. Left it alone. And then I got like 5 more responses after that, just bashing the shit out of me for saying I'm done arguing. I mean, I don't understand. Like, just go the fuck away.
Yeah.
And if you didn't post something to be controversial and to get response, then why did you post it? If you didn't post something to get other opinions on things, why did you post it?
Because all they want is, dude. People don't want opinion. They want acclaim. There's a difference. People, the reason they fight on Facebook is not because they want opinion. Nobody puts out there, hey, what do you think about Kamala? Does she have a chance? And then looks for opinion. What they put out there is, if you dare not vote for Kamala, you're just proving your racism. And because what they're looking for is 100 likes and 30 people saying, you're right. Those other side, they are racist. How could they not vote for the black woman leader? DEI, that's a myth. But you're playing right into their fucking playbook.
I guess I am.
Don't just ignore them. Just know that they're stupid. Block them. Block them from your fucking Facebook so that you don't have to read their stupidity. Dude, I love my Facebook now because I don't see any political shit. None. I have blocked everybody that puts political shit on. All I get now is wrestling stories, women of wrestling, which is always great, and hot chicks. That's all I get on my Facebook. It's great.
Maybe bullshit detector here is right, dude.
Oh, he's 100% right.
To the damage you're doing to your heart, yelling like a lunatic. I don't think I'm yelling like a lunatic. I get told that this microphone isn't loud enough, so I'm trying to, project into the microphone. Then I'm yelling, so I can't fucking win. Fake cross-dressing retard. You can't win. Just focus on your world, bro. Shit. Like today, another one. Another example of what happened today that I lost it. And I got to stop losing it because you're right. I'm doing damage to myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not winning any friends, but I don't want to surround myself with just people that agree with me. I like to have a spirited debate, but there is no spirited debate anymore. It's you're wrong, you're a racist, you're an asshole, and fuck you. And I don't, even with family members, it's that way. I don't understand it. So today, somebody posted, another woman, I don't remember her name, I'm not going to shout her out, but she posted. Nice. So a woman posted, newsflash, you don't need to use straws.
Straws?
Because straws are apparently bad for the environment.
Yeah, well.
And I said, newsflash, I like straws. Newsflash, you don't have to complain about every fucking thing.
Yeah, as you complain about something stupid. Her post about straws. Just
because
ignore
it's
her.
Annoying.
But I know. So block. Mute.
Why
if you want to let them see what you do, hit mute.
Well, I don't care what they say when I post something, and I try not to post something stupid like that.
But the ridiculousness of it is you react to it.
I do.
Don't. That's what I'm saying. Hit mute. Because in the end, do you care? Do you care about that? Is that person that posted about straws a friend? Yes or no? Is it somebody that you want to know if their cousin is sick or if you could donate money to help them out or something?
I can care less.
So they're just a blip on your screen.
Yes.
So if they want to follow you, which I'm assuming me and you have the same sort of, I have like 20 friends total in the world, but I have 900 or 1,000 or however many it is on Facebook. They're not my friends. They're people that listen to me on these shows. So when I accept a friend request, dude, on Facebook, I hit accept, and I'll tell you the very next button I push before I move away is to go to their follow status and unfollow. Really? I don't follow anybody that I don't know. If I have not drank beer with you, I can guarantee you I do not see you on my Facebook. I do not. Because why? Why do I care what? I'm glad that they're a fan. If they enjoy the shows, I'm glad that they're a fan and that they enjoy listening to me yammer on about whatever I yammer on about. But in the end, I don't care what Bill in Mississippi's dog going to the vet is doing today. I just don't give a shit.
All right, so let me explain my point. Donnie is right. Everybody is deaf. At least I sat next to Donnie at the concert.
And wished you were deaf.
No. But, it was like, because I'm pretty much deaf too. So now the entire MGM was hearing what we have to say because we're both screaming at each other while we're talking.
Right.
Which was slightly entertaining. Except for the guy that was in front of us that was looking back like, what the hell are you guys talking about? But anyways, let me tell you why I got on Facebook originally, and I think that
Sure.
most people got on Facebook originally. Yes, I agree with Jake. I should do that. Maybe Jake knows Shayna and Naomi. Jake, do you know Shayna and Naomi? Because she's the one that's a
Probably not,
bitch
because if
about
she
her.
followed him, he instantly unfollowed her.
It's really funny. But I got on Facebook because Facebook was an outlet all of a sudden that I could post pictures of like my daughter. I
Sure.
could post a picture of me and my wife, and you know what? Like people could see it. Like my dad and stuff who lived out of town could see my stuff. I could
Sure.
post, "Hey, went to the movies today, saw this," and people would react and say, "How was it?" It was great.
It's
But
family and friends.
it's become so much more than that it's insane. Now it went from, "Hey, I'm going out to Fridays tonight. We're gonna have a dinner, and I'll tell you how it was." And here's a picture of my steak that I got. To "Fuck you. I hope you die."
Yeah, well, why are you still letting them stay on your Facebook?
How did it turn into that?
Because because everybody went into Facebook with the MySpace mentality. At first, we all jumped on Facebook for the same reason. Friends, family, high school buddies that we hadn't heard from in 30 years. You know, hadn't heard from somebody from high school in 20 years or whatever. Oh, look at that. There's Rich. I haven't heard from him in forever. Click, 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 and you added people. Well, then you started realizing why you hadn't heard from them in 20 years. Because most of them are dickheads. So then you unfollow them. But you don't, because you have that MySpace mentality. You'll feel like you're doing something wrong if you only have 89 friends instead of 5,000. But you don't have 5,000 friends. You still have 80 friends and 4,000 people that just don't give a shit, that just want to fuck with you because they think of you as some magical voice that they hear on their radio. They don't know you.
I enjoy that interaction. I enjoy posting a picture of, me and my family out at an event somewhere doing something, and then getting the reaction from people and
You're doing just like they're doing.
Like that. But I'm saying, when did we turn it into a platform for hate? What happened to the just everybody come on here and have a good time?
Dude, anytime from, and I'll go all the way back, any communication device in the history of time has been mutated into two things: porn and violence. I don't care what you talk. You could talk about a mimeograph machine. Remember the old mimeograph machine that you turned?
Yes.
It had the blue ink on it, and it would spit out papers. How long was it before there was naked women on those things and people were spitting out naked women? How long was it before you took a pen, and you turned it upside down to see the woman's clothes fall off?
Oh, yeah.
Any communication device known to man gets used for one of two things eventually: hate or porn.
I broke the shit out of that pen.
But think about it, dude. If you really think about it that way, this is just another communication device. And it is following the path of the pen and the phone and the TV and the VCR and the mimeograph machine and the copy machine and anything you can think of that allowed you to communicate easier. It gets mutated into those two things: hatred and porn.
I'm looking up how many social media users are there.
That's going to tell you 350 zillion. It's like billion, right? It's like a third or fifth of the world.
That's in the U.S., just the U.S. alone. 239 million.
Out of 360 or whatever it is.
Yeah. And the other, whatever millions are homeless or illegals and don't have phones yet.
Oh, they have phones. Are you kidding me?
Yet.
They get $1,200 a month. I'm sure they ran right down to the Microsoft or the Apple store and bought a nice phone. Probably have a better phone than me and you.
I mean, it really is kind of disgusting to think about that. 239 million people. And you got to remember, a lot of it, I shouldn't have said illegals and homeless. A lot of those are children that aren't using social media. I mean, kids under the age of, how many? 5, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say, the kids are on social media.
But you can't turn on Facebook. You can't turn on, especially X. Forget about X. X might as well just. I mean, I look at X, I want to like hang myself.
X is like an adult site now.
I mean, it's so bad, man. It is so terrible.
And by terrible, you mean awesome.
Well, it depends on what you look at. I mean, Keith Olbermann is one of those. You know, remember that we talked about those mentally challenged people?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those.
Yeah, he's a tard. Full blown.
I mean, but the hate is almost too much anymore. I don't know.
There's a simple way. Not especially. I mean, do I believe in it? I believe there's something. I don't know what I believe in. I've studied it, obviously. I have a degree in it, but.
All right. According to your degree, there is a point where God comes back, right? And like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, dude, what he did and what he created has been so fucked up by the rest of us. It's unbelievable. I mean, is anybody going to heaven? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, and spiritually, it's a tough thing because there's the one train of thought that says, well, you're supposed to worship. And that's, I mean, you're really supposed to make your life difficult and miserable by worshiping all the time if you truly want to guarantee your path to heaven. But at the same time, you can be a Chris Watts, stuff your kids, drown them in oil and stuff them in an oil tank. As long as you go to prison and say, well, Lord, I'm sorry, then supposedly you can get in. So you do that math and try and figure out what's right or not right there.
Little bullshit detector. I don't know if I'm going to put that one up on the screen.
Yeah, you might not want to do that one. We are on YouTube today. Although barely, probably me dropping the retards word is probably not good.
So it's better to have fewer true friends than a million that say they are, but really acquaintances.
I agree.
Okay, look, let me count. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody that might be listening to this, but as far as true friends go, that I have, like people that, and I mean, look, I think I consider, friends that I have that listen to the show or follow me on Facebook and stuff like that. I consider some of them friends in the sense that, we don't hang out together, but I know them and I care about them because I care. But when I see their families online, I do care. I mean, maybe I'm an emotional guy, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of people, maybe it's because I'm a Cancer birth sign, but I've always been an emotional guy. But
dude, I'm a very emotional guy. That's why that's why I get rid of people that are of no importance to me.
I consider, again, some of the people that follow on Facebook and watch and we share our lives together online, somewhat friends. But in the sense of friends that I literally call and could say, hey, let's go have a beer or let's go hang out together.
Yeah. But those are the ones. Are the ones. Well, I'm sure you got a couple.
And you and I have never had a beer together.
The comedy club.
I didn't have a beer, but so I guess
close.
That one night would be considered. But I feel like, for the most part, I mean, I know that I could call you with a problem. And
of course.
I know that if you're busy or not busy, you'll answer the phone, and I can talk.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm trying to think of seriously, and I'm not joking. I'm trying to think of friends. I've had friends throughout my life, but they've always managed to fuck me in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And and so that it makes me more guarded. I don't have anybody that I would call today to go have a beer with. I don't think. I really don't.
Dude, I have legitimately people that I really truly know that I would really take a bullet for. I have about 11 people. It used to be my core 9, but I've pretty much added you and John's brother AJ to the list. So I'm up to 11 at this point that I have. And so it's now my core 11 that I would do or have done somebody calls me at 3 a.m. Hey, I need you, come, and I'll go. Those types of people. And I have 11 of those. And I can tell you for a fact, outside of that, then I have my second tier of people. That's probably another 20 people that I may not go to that level, but I will certainly take a call and try and help them or whatever. I have them. But other than those, so that's about 20 people total, 20, 25 people. I don't follow anybody else on social media. I unfollow every other person on social media because if I want to get to know them, then I'll get to know them. And if I get close enough, then I'll let them in.
All
But
right,
I'm not going to just waste my time on people that have no meaning to me.
surprisingly enough, Chiselka, I would consider a friend, even though
I
we
would
make fun
too.
of him and stuff like that. I mean, I talked to him just last night. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't agree on shit, but I still consider him a friend. He came to
Sure.
visit me in the house. Jake is another friend of mine.
Mhm.
Jake is a friend that I would go have a beer with and hang out with. So I mean,
Sure.
there are people like that, but I mean, I'm talking about friends that I mean, Jake is probably another close friend that I could have. Bob, if he was in Cleveland, I'd have a beer with you, man. Look,
Sure.
I'd love to be friends with Bob, but we're not in the same town. We don't, we'll talk to each other on Facebook and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I'm talking about friends that I know that I could rely on to come pick me up tomorrow if my car was broken down, take me to work, and everything
Sure.
would be great. So yeah, Jake, I forgot about Jake. And other than that, I don't know of any. I don't have anybody that's really close to me. And that might be because I've pushed people aside because with the job that I've done over the years, you can't get close to anybody because they're always
You work in the most incestuous business short of movie star.
and then they do punch you in the back every now and
Yeah.
stab you in the back.
Radio people are almost all scumbags.
I mean, do I consider Triv ever a friend? I don't know. I mean, do we hang out sometimes? But he was my boss.
He was your mentor more than a friend.
Mentor, I would say that without a doubt. And there were times where he fucking hated me.
Sure. Well, believe me, dude, there's times that my close friends do not like me. I know that, and there's times I do not like them. Our friend John Bloomdoggy on the show, he'll be the first one to tell you. Here in this house, I knocked him fucking silly over my couch one night.
Really?
Yep. And that wasn't that long ago. That was six years ago, maybe 6-7 years. He was wising off at a party I had, and we were both drunk, and he said the wrong thing, and I fucking punched him and knocked him right over the couch. And he's arguably, him and his wife are probably my best friends in the world.
Wow.
But
Remind me
dude,
to stay away from her house.
Well, there's you have to respect yourself first. And there's only so much you should be willing to take from anybody. And getting involved, and to swing that back to Facebook, if these people are saying stuff that you just don't want to take, then why let them in your life? Fuck them. They don't matter to you. 3 weeks from now, will you remember Naomi or Shayna's name? No.
Probably not.
But you put so much energy that you were absolutely frustrated going into today's show. You spent half a day being mad about some person that you will not even remember 3 weeks from now.
That's true. And then I'm coming up with more that I have friends with. Charlie Kalani's a friend.
Sure.
But and again, maybe me and Charlie don't hang out.
You don't have to hang out all the time to be friends with people. The key to friendship is, look, one of my core people is a guy named Steve Mikolai. I have not seen Steve in 5 years. And I really haven't had any communication, like 1 or 2 texts in 5 years. And I guarantee you, I could hit him on my phone right now and say, hey, bro, meet me at 7 o'clock tonight over at Quaker Steak or wherever. And you know what? He'd show up because we're friends and we have a bond that does not require day-to-day, thing. You can have close friends. My point is, don't pollute your life with people that aren't. That's all I'm trying to say. Don't pollute your life with people that are not those kind of people.
I think that's where social media has ruined things, because you do start thinking, oh, these are my friends. Look, I have like 5,000 friends. No, you don't.
No, you don't. You have the same 20 that you really do have. That is the point. You have the same 20 that you really know you have.
Yeah.
So you have 4,980 people that really you couldn't give 2 shits about. And the only time you care is if they take some really unique photo of something. Like if they take a photo of them, I don't know, hugging James Hetfield or something.
I mean,
then you'd be like, oh, wow.
So what do you consider a friend? I guess I need the definition of a friend.
To me, there's 2 categories. There's the kind that they will do anything for you, you will do anything for them. on a moment's notice, and I'll tell a story. When my dad died, the day my dad died, I get a text 45 minutes before my dad dies from my friend John's wife, Stephanie, who is my best friend in the world.
Yeah.
And she texts me and she says, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And I hadn't called her. She didn't even know where I was. And I was like, "No, my dad's about to die." And she was like, "Holy shit, where are you?" And I was like, "Don't worry about it right now, right?" So forward on through the day a little bit. My dad dies an hour later. We deal with that. I leave the hospice that my dad was in. I'm in the car driving home. I call her to say, "Hey, just letting you know my dad died. Shit happened, blah, blah, blah." Now, at the time, she lived in Lima, which is what, 3 hours from here? 2.5 hours from here?
Yeah.
She says to me, I'll be there in a couple of hours. I'm going to make you some dinner and get you through this." I didn't ask. In fact, I actually told her not to, but she was willing to jump in her car and come up. And to even set the story more back, we didn't even know each other that long. It isn't like we'd known each other for years or something. I literally knew her 6 months. That's a friend. That's somebody that saw that I was really fucked up and was willing to drop she had kids and everything else to be getting ready for school and everything. And she was going to drop everything to jump in her car to make sure I was good. That's a friend.
See, then maybe I don't. Maybe I have more friends than I realize, because I think there's a lot of people that I know that would do something like that. But I guess I don't have the friends that I pick up the phone and I say, "All right, I'm going to call this person today and say what's up, see what's going on." But look, when I was in the hospital, I didn't realize how many people had my back and were I guess friends of mine in a way that I didn't understand. Sure. When they donated literally thousands of dollars to a fund for me and my family so that way when I was unemployed, lost a leg, and be able to survive and that kind of thing. And so I do have a lot of friends in that sense. But I'm saying a friend like Jake is a friend. Jake one day dragged a couple people over to the house and they cleaned out my car because they knew that it was a mess, and I have trouble with the leg now, bending over to get stuff off the ground and everything else. And they literally came over to the house and scrubbed it down inside and out. And I didn't even know that they were doing it. They came into my driveway. I thought somebody broke in. But, I mean, that's a friend. And, like I said, some people that are on here, Scott, Bob, have been following me through this entire journey with the podcast. I consider all those guys friends, but they're not the kind of friends that if I call them tomorrow and said, "Hey, you want to watch the game?" I mean, nobody's running over to hang out with each other. We don't have that kind of friendship yet. Maybe someday down the road we would.
You might grow into that. Of course.
Right now, it seems like the only people I really talk to it's very few.
Well, sometimes you got to make that effort too.
I know. Believe me, I know. And I'm not very good at it sometimes.
I will say this, and I'm sure next time we have John on, especially, he'll tell you. I know when they see my name pop up on their phone, they cringe because they know it's going to be a very long phone call, because that's the way it is. I'm not short of speaking ever, and what me and John always joke all the time, this will be a 2-minute phone call and we're on the phone 2 fucking hours. It just is that way. So, but you got to make the effort. I know for me personally, I always go around. I do kind of an around the horn on Sundays, and maybe you do this. Take this as advice or not. I go through my phone I know the names of the people that I look at as my friends, the 20 or so people, and I go through my phone every Sunday before I do anything. It's usually Sunday in the morning, and I just look at my text list, and if I see that I haven't texted with somebody like on that friends list, or I find that it's been, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, I'll just throw them a quick text. And it'll just be a text saying, "Hey, just checking in. What's up?
No.
Everything good?" And almost universally I'll get, "Everything's cool. Guess what we did," or whatever. And then you have a little conversation and you maintain the friendship.
it still all goes back to what we were talking about originally, which is social media. But the whole friends thing on social media is
Yeah.
what I'm talking about now. But I mean, like I Bob says, if you move to Florida, we'll hang out, guarantee it. Absolutely, and I know we would, Bob. We'll take the two legs we have between us and we'll walk down the beach together. But yes, I do think that, and I consider you a friend. I wish that we could all be closer friends. I guess is my point.
Sure.
When you have friends on Facebook and friends in real life, it's so different. But I've had so many people that like you think of friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then they turn out to be shit, and people that aren't friends. I had people that wanted to work with me on stuff, and whether it was whatever it is, but people that wanted to work with me on stuff, and then all of a sudden they just disappear, and then
Yep.
they're not your friend. But I thought, I mean, there were people that I was like, holy shit, I was like really close with this one guy. I mean, like really close, and all of a sudden disappears. Don't want to, doesn't want to take a call anymore. Nothing, and so I guess I guard myself from being too close, and I think that people get caught up online though with the amount of friends that they have on their list. I mean, how many? I don't even know how many friends I have on Facebook.
Well, let's find out. Seth, you have 1.9 thousand.
I mean, that's not even a lot, I guess, for Facebook.
No, not
standards.
really.
And I don't know 1.9 thousand people.
You probably know 0.002.
Look,
Like
I
20.
was watching. What was I watching the other night? Oh, I was watching Pressure Luck. The new Pressure Luck was on.
Oh,
You ever seen that show?
I remember the old one. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I did.
Yeah, the new
That's
one,
not
though-
the whammies, right?
Yes,
Ah.
but the new version has this Elizabeth Banks. She hosts it, and man, every outfit she wears, she shows her legs all the way up to her vagina.
She's hot.
Yeah, and so it's a great show. And I was watching it the other night, and this lady won a prize, her dream birthday party.
Okay.
And they're describing this birthday party. You and 100 of your closest friends.
Ugh.
And I'm sitting there going, I wouldn't have 10 I could invite. I mean, it would be you and I sitting around with Jasoka and Jake having some beers. And if Bob could make it up from Florida and Scott was making up from Akron or whatever. But I certainly couldn't have 100 people sitting
Sure.
at a birthday party.
I think you'd be surprised, though, dude. Like, I used to, when I first got single, I used to throw parties here at the house all the time. And I would just throw the invite out there. I just didn't care. I would just put it on Facebook. I'd be like, having a party. If you show up, bring a 6-pack or a 2-liter. Bring something to drink. I'll handle all the food, music, whatever. Dude, we had a couple of parties here that had hundreds of people here. And I knew most of them. I mean, there were some that they brought a friend or whatever, and I didn't know the friend, but I mean, I knew most of the people that came, and I was surprised. It does surprise you how many people you know. Now, admittedly, that's people showing up for free booze, but that's.
Look, I'm sure there's people that I forgot to mention. You know who you are. You know you're my friend, and everything's fine. So please don't freak out. I can't name everybody sitting here, but I mean, it's just I don't know how many people I would sit there and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out at my dad's house today. You want to come join me? Cook out." I mean, there's different levels of friendship.
There is, but I think swinging this back to the original idea,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Shayna Naomi is not one of them.
Well, and that's true. But now I got to sit there and look at my friends list and decide which one I want to kick off and which ones I don't.
You do.
I mean,
You don't kick them off, you mute them. If they still want to follow you, they can, but you don't need to see what they're doing.
and I thought about that. My wife has told me to do that numerous times. Well, why don't you just mute them or unfollow them? Well, because don't I kind of want to prove the point that fuck
No.
you, I don't want to see your stupid shit anymore?
No. Why? What are you
I
fighting?
guess that's what I'm asking. Why?
Are you fighting? What do you get if you win?
Nothing.
Do you get a trophy?
I wish.
Do you feel better?
Maybe.
No, you won't.
I like
No,
to
you
win.
won't. Seth, you are one of those guys, and I know so many people that are exactly like you. Tell me if I'm wrong.
So now you're telling me that I'm a piece of shit.
No, I'm
Right.
telling you, you are determined to make anybody that doesn't see it your way see it your way. You're determined to have that. And you will fight to the death over your way.
Okay. Let me challenge that a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not asking for everybody to agree with me or see it my way in the sense that if you don't, then I hate you. I'm asking you to at least listen to my opinion and listen to the facts that I present, and then we can have a discussion on what your side believes. And I don't care if it's an argument, but at the end of the day, we're still going to be friends. I don't need to sit there and win all the time. I do to win.
But take it to Naomi. Stop. I'm going to interject right with what you just said. If we don't agree, then we can still be friends. That's what you said, right?
Yes. But fuck
so why are you having this conversation with somebody that you're already not friends with?
Because I don't know.
Why do you care?
I don't know this person.
So then why would you argue? If you were walking down the street and some guy walked up next to you.
Yes.
Would you stop him and say, "Hey, Kamala's a fucking idiot"?
No.
And then why?
Okay.
That's what this is. This is the internet street. Some stranger passed you by and you had to stop him.
No. Now, here's the difference. If they walked up to the street corner that I'm standing on and are wearing a Kamala Harris is the best woman I've ever met and she should be president of the United States, I would laugh at them and say, you got to be kidding me, right?
Come on.
I would start that conversation. I would absolutely start that conversation. People start conversations with me all the time when I'm wearing Trump stuff. I have a Trump shirt that I wear. People start conversations with me all the time, and it's either good or they give me a fuck you. I mean, so yes, I don't mind starting a conversation. I like dialogue. Why do you think I do what I do?
Yeah, I get that. I just don't like that. I just don't like losing energy on people that really don't matter to me.
I mean, look, the reason that I could not do the show with the last person that was doing the show is because it turned into a repetitive argument every single day about the same thing. And we started losing people. Well, we lost a ton of people that were actually listening to the show.
Right.
And so it wasn't benefiting the show to do that. And so, but I like an argument. I enjoyed, dude, you don't know how many times that we would sit in that studio at Billy's and we would be laying it out there and I'd be like screaming and I'd be fuming mad. Yeah. And at the end of the show, when the lights went off and I was wheeling back out in my wheelchair out into the parking lot, and I'd say, "Hey, great show, man. Good talking to you." And that was the way that it ended. It was fine, but it got to be so repetitive that it wasn't good. It wasn't good for the show.
And me and you argue. We argued a week ago, or Monday or whatever it was. I don't even remember what day it was about the shooting. It was fine.
I'm one. Yeah, absolutely, it was fine. But I'm one that does like a good dialogue and back and forth. I mean, I got in an argument with a family member the other day about, Trump again. Doesn't like to talk about Trump, and immediately the conversation turned. I'm not talking to you about this. Well, why not?
Yeah.
Why don't you
family members like that?
Dude. And I mean, I'm not looking for a fight. What I'm looking for is here's the facts that I'm, giving to you. You give me the facts that you want to give to me, and let's discuss said facts.
Yeah.
But people online don't want to do that. That was the entire point of the original conversation. Sure. I put something out there on Facebook on this person's post, good old Shana Naomi, whoever the hell she is. And I said, this is getting stupid. I don't want to be called a racist because I don't agree with you. That's all I wanted to say.
But those are your rules on how to work Facebook.
Look, it's not a matter of...
Dude, lefties, their whole reason to put stuff on Facebook is for people to say, you're so smart, you're so right. They don't want any argument. They don't want any discussion. They don't want, dude, tell me one name in your life, even just initials, of somebody that is a hardcore leftist that can have an interactive discussion with you about Donald Trump without throwing a name or an insult. You can't name one.
No, I can't.
You can't, because that's not their playbook.
But again,
you keep trying to.
Because I think that it should be just a natural human thing to have a discussion or a dialogue where people are I don't care if it gets heated. but not calling people names and racists and homophobes and everything else. You don't know me. Shamey doesn't know me from a fucking hole in the wall. So to sit there that if I say a DEI hire is Kamala Harris and you want to say that it's using the N-word, that's offensive to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it is.
dude,
I wouldn't use that word.
Honestly, they are indoctrinated into a cult, just like the Nexium cult or the Waco or whatever. Their behavior on every subject is cultish.
Well, that's what they say to me.
Yeah, of course they say it to you.
Oh, you're in the Donald Trump cult.
Yeah.
Somebody I talked to today said the same thing. You're in a cult. No, I'm not. I would have voted for whoever is the Republican nominee to go against Biden. Then he stepped and forced aside. But
I get it.
We have no ability.
There is no more dialogue, dude.
Have dialogue, discussion, even heated discussion without calling names and calling somebody a racist or a homophobe or whatever it is, sexist or it's insane, and that's the whole point of me being.
Well, it is, and that's why you just have to not give a shit. I agree with Jake. Just get rid of them.
I mean, I remember when it was the last Trump election when he lost, supposedly. And man, there were some people that were leftists on that I worked with, and I just started unfriending.
Yeah.
And then I realized I got to see these people like tomorrow. And
do you have people in your life that you absolutely tell, I will not talk politics with you?
No, I mean, no, because I want to talk politics.
See, I tell like family members, especially my niece Alex. I love my niece to death, but quite literally, she unfollowed me on Facebook because I dared say something bad about the great savior Obama. You know, I dared to say something bad, and she got all pissy and unfollowed. And it's to the point that both of us get a warning for Thanksgiving. If we're doing Thanksgiving at my mom's, we both get the phone call from my mom saying there will be no political talk at the fucking house. And if you can't agree to that, don't come. And that's fine. Sometimes you have to be like that with people, dude. Sometimes you really have to just say, how about those calves? You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get into with those types of people, you have to be like, man, sure was hot this week, wasn't it? You know, there's just some people you can't talk to about this stuff.
I guess. And then the other thing that I hate, is that you can't tell online a lot of times what the tone of speech actually is.
Sure.
And so somebody posts something, and I think it's like a hateful comment or like a comment meant to be politically whatever, and they meant it as humor or satire, and it's tough to read.
Right.
Tone in somebody's speech. I apologized to somebody just the other day for a comment because I was like, yeah, what the hell are you thinking? What are you talking about? And then they responded with, and that was just supposed to be funny. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Didn't know. Because you can't, I mean, like it was texting.
Yeah.
I can't tell sometimes if somebody's mad. Trip used to text me all the time. I couldn't tell whether he was mad or whether he was fucking with me.
It's funny.
There's a lot of people texting in today.
Yeah, people are. I mean, I think because everybody's living this topic.
I would love to start a music show.
Speaking of that, we are going to have a musical guest on Monday.
Are we?
We are. We are going to have. I forget what the name of the band is. It's a Metallica tribute band. It's like the biggest Metallica tribute band in the world. They're going out on tour in August, and they're going to be here at they're headlining Rock on the River in Lorraine in September. But I was listening to some of their clips. They are dead on like Metallica in the glory days of Metallica. I mean, they just smoke like those Metallica people from the early to mid 80s. Oh man, it is so good. So Yeah, they asked if we would do something with them. I was like, absolutely.
Without a doubt. I think, I'd like to do on maybe Wednesday if he's
Yeah.
available. I think, doesn't Brown training camp start next week?
I think it does.
I think we should get
Bloom Doggy John.
Bloom Doggy John on, talk a little Browns.
Yeah, we could do that if he's
Sean
available.
Watson said he's going to win a Super Bowl here.
Oh, he's right. He's 100% correct.
What year would that be?
2025.
Is the ghost of Deshaun Watson going to come back in
2025.
2063? And
you just failing to realize we're under 200 days from our first Super Bowl win.
Okay, well, I'll be dead.
By the way, the band is the Four Horsemen.
Oh, nice. I've heard of them. I thought.
Yeah. They list themselves as the only album quality Metallica tribute. And they really are good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
You want to hear a little?
Yeah.
Look at this. Oh, hold on. Wow, it's booming in my ears. Wasn't quite ready for that. Share screen. Lorraine's a drive for me, but I may go to this. This band really brings it. Check this out.
We want to bring back the spirit of what Metallica was all about back in the 80s. They were thrashers. They were just ferocious players, and that's the kind of show that we like to bring to the people. You should expect better from the bands that you go and see. They should be doing top-notch work for you because you work all week, you go out, you want to be entertained, and I feel that we need to be at that almost perfect level for people so they'll enjoy the show.
Dude, this is gonna rule.
Yeah, dude. I want to go to that show. When is the show here?
It is. Oh, where's my email? That show in Lorraine it's a Friday too. I know that. It's Friday, September 13th at Rock on the River.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
It's really.
Well, that's gonna be packed.
Oh, it's gonna be full. Let me play the other video. That's actually just them playing. So, because I didn't realize that there was talking in that one. Let me go to the other one. Check this out. This is them playing Master of Puppets. I watched them both today. I was like, God damn, this is good. Here we go. Check it out. Dude, that's live.
Wow.
I just want you to hear the voice. Sounds just like
Yeah, he does.
Come on, dude.
Yeah, dude, they fucking rock.
I was like, I get so many of these press releases and a lot of tribute bands, and I ain't gonna lie, I pass on almost all of them. But I clicked on this because I love Metallica, and I was like, damn, is that good?
It is good. Do you think
It's better
Metallica
than
sold out?
What?
Do you think Metallica sold out a little bit these last couple albums?
Last couple since the Black Album, yes.
Since the Black Album?
Yes. They were a thrash metal band, and all of a sudden they were writing hits. Not that I don't like the Black Album, I love it, but yeah, I mean, dude, Load, Reload. The last couple albums have been sort of a return to form.
I didn't mind those, but Saint Anger had me wanting to punch people in the face.
Yeah, the production on that was pretty damn
It was
awful.
rough, man. It was a bad.
It was just bad. But they were in a bad place. They didn't even want to do the record. They were not. They didn't care. And even that said, there's still a couple of good songs on it.
I'm looking forward to that. Monday would be fun. What time?
Yeah,
on Monday.
4:30.
Nice.
Yeah. I was very excited to. Very, very odd that I would be excited to talk to a tribute band, but I heard them. I was like, holy shit, I'm willing to drive to Lorraine to see that.
Yeah, I'd go out to see that show.
Me too.
I went to I don't want to be mad anymore. I got enough
that's
problems.
fine.
So I went to see Quiet Riot and Stephen Piercy the other night.
Yeah, let's talk about that because we didn't do that the other day.
And Donnie was there.
Yeah.
And of course, he's still talking about. It was a hell of a show, to be honest with you. I thought. I mean, look, I'll be honest. My wife is more of the '80s metal
Sure.
person, and I know enough to be, slightly, intelligently stupid on it.
Right.
And so, I really wanted her to see it though, because she was a big fan, and so we went. And man, Eric Ferrantino is your boy.
Yeah.
He's the band for Stephen Piercy,
Mm-hmm.
and he hooked us up with a couple of tickets to go.
Right.
And it was fucking amazing, dude. And we got 9th row seats.
That's awesome.
And it was actually really perfect because you were supposed to go and you didn't.
Right.
And so the entire row was like empty except for my wife, and then Donnie was there.
Nice.
And so, when I couldn't stand very long because of my leg, I was able to sit and just kind of prop up and relax.
Sure.
And I had, since we were so close, I had a big TV screen sitting right in my face.
Right.
It was perfect.
And I heard Steven sounded really good. I heard the whole band was great.
He did. He sounded great, and the band did sound great.
Yeah.
Eric is, dude, he's the man, dude.
Yeah, he is. He definitely is. He's he definitely. It's weird because he turns on Rockstar and off. I mean, if you've watched me and him with Chris Aiken Presents,
Yeah.
he's not that guy.
Yes.
He's not aggressive, challenging the crowd guy that he is when he's with Stephen Piercy. He's a little more laid back and a little more, let's tell a couple jokes, have a good laugh. He's that guy. But yeah, as far as a musician, he brings it, man. He
does.
can fucking play.
And yeah, I know that he's got like a thing with a girl and all that kind of stuff. But next time you talk to him, just say why. Why the fuck would you ever settle down like at this time of your life? There's so many moons for you to sit down and relax and have a nice little homestead in San Diego or wherever he's at. I mean, now would be the time where you go out to that merch table, you pick which ones you want,
right,
and then you leave for the night. I don't know. I mean, like maybe he's just a better guy than I am. So
I think. I'm not going to say anything. I know the stories. I do know the stories, and I'm not going to tell them. They're not mine to tell.
I'm not asking to tell. I'm not asking.
Next time he comes on the show, you can ask him those stories.
Yeah, we need to book him again then, because I need to ask him some stories.
Yeah.
If he's willing to talk about them.
I'll abstain just because I know a little too much.
Look, okay, but I'm sitting there watching this guy, right?
Yeah.
And like he's on the screen, these big freaking screens that they have sitting there. And he's fucking rocking on that guitar and he's pelting out stuff. And I'm sitting there going, look at this kid. I mean, I don't even know how old he is. How old is this guy?
He's our age, believe it or not.
Get the hell out of here.
He is. He's 50.
Oh, Jesus. He looks like he's like in his 20s. He's up on stage. He's rocking on a guitar, and you could tell like in the background, like nothing against Stephen Piercy. I mean, I'm sure he gets plenty of whatever, and I'm sure that he did in his prime.
Oh yeah.
But you're talking about a guy like Eric. He's standing there. I could see like panties melting in the background. I had to walk through the puddle when I was on my way out of the building, and you're sitting. It was just what I would do to have one night like him.
Yeah,
but it was a hell of a show. It really was. Quiet Riot was good, and so I can't thank Eric enough for hooking us up. And
well, I'm sure he appreciates it, and we'll definitely appreciate. I'm sure because he listens to this show, so he may be listening right now. He might have just heard you say it.
Rat Concerts always had the hottest star hose.
That is true.
I will say this: there were a couple that were there, right?
Yeah,
and you could tell. I mean, they walked in; they were to the nines of groupie look, dude, with the black leather and all this kind of stuff. And then you got up close, were like, man, they were really hot, like in 1982.
Yeah, there's a lot of
There's a lot of them there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and they're like trying to relive their youth.
Yeah, I mean,
so it just looks like an old lady with blown up hair and a spandex dress.
Don't get me wrong, there were some really hot chicks dressed up in leather too. And I mean, there were some gorgeous women there.
Yeah,
none prettier than my wife, of course. But you get up close to some of them, you're like, holy shit, you really should have stopped tanning after 1986.
Dude, I was at a show. I won't say which band, but I was at a show, and then after we went to the bar with the band. The bar was in the same hotel they were staying at, and it was right across the street from the venue that they had played. And we had watched the show from the side of the stage, so of course me and my friend were looking at the chicks, and we were just like, oh, look at that hot piece of ass, this and that, right? We were all checking them out. And then somehow those same girls found their way to the bar, and they all come walking up the bar, and we were like, holy shit, here comes those really hot chicks from the show, right?
Yeah.
Well, but unfortunately this bar had the lights on where in the concert venue all you saw was a little bit of green light or red light that was hitting them at the time. And when you saw them in natural lighting, it was a whole different experience. It was like, oh my God, Grandma, what are you doing here? It was like, yeah. It's like, eek. I can see why you were a groupie in the 80s, but not now.
Now, do you think Rick was asking about Billy Morris. Do you think Billy has stories of those days?
Oh, I would say knowing Billy, yes. And
but I'm guessing
knowing some of the stories, yes.
He wouldn't talk about them, right?
I'll say this. I got fired or suspended from 92.3 for talking about him. For talking about him banging groupies.
Really?
At a specific venue, yeah. He threw out, that was me and him, we didn't speak for like 5 years.
I didn't know that.
Because he came on against us on the metal show. He had his local show on MMS.
Yeah.
And he made the comment of, finally there's some talent on Sunday nights in Cleveland.
Wow.
And I answered that with, well, let's talk about the talent that you were banging at this arena in Michigan. And it got really ugly really quick. Station managers involved. Bo Matthews was involved. Kim Monroe was involved. I was suspended for a month. It was a whole thing.
Didn't know all that.
Oh yeah, it was a whole thing. So
another guess we got to get.
Oh, Billy traded up 1 million times. So
I know, and so that's why I don't know if you talk about it because
Billy sickens me with the fact that he's lived nobody's lived a more charmed life than Billy. Nobody. That guy just continues to trade up.
Well, good for him, though. All right, we have Tony Masaccio.
All right, cool. I didn't know Tony was calling in.
Yeah, Tony is joining us tonight. And,
very good.
So let's say we both screwed him, by the way.
We did?
Yeah, we both missed the rib cook-off in Berea or in Bedford.
I thought it was in August.
No, so we both missed it. I had to work, and so
I thought it was in August. Oh. Sorry, Tony.
Let's apologize to Tony.
It was actually last Friday.
I did not know. I thought it was in August.
But I'm going to check. Hang on, Tony. I'm going to check my phone real quick for that reminder that Tony sent me. Yeah, it didn't happen. It did not happen. So.
Wait, say that again, Seth?
I said I'm checking my phone to see when that reminder came that you sent me on my phone. Oh, it did not happen. Yeah, you didn't send one about the reminder that we were supposed to judge ribs and stuff. So we hadn't talked for like 3 weeks, but, I guess I was supposed to – my calendar burned to the ground.
See? You had to have it in the calendar.
See?
That's all right. There will be more. And by the way, on that note, all the ribs sucked.
Oh, well.
Really?
Yeah. The last one was probably the best one, which was Porky T's. They're out of, I think it was Milwaukee. So again, there's like a rating of 1 to 10. Taste, tenderness, smoky, presentation. I mean, there was myself, Ed Flash Ferentz, Harry from Harry's Steakhouse, Little John Rinaldi, The Miz, who's the father of The Miz wrestler, and we were giving 3s and 2s to the other previous ribbers. So the last one got like 8s, 9s, and 10s.
Wow.
But
you're giving 3s.
Isn't that crazy? Chris was insane.
Wow.
They just weren't good. I mean, it's just the one came in like at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. No, they came in at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They should have been there early in the morning, prepping the ribs and cooking them. And of course, we got there at 6:30. So those ribs were not well. They were pink in the middle. And that's not the good pink that you want to see. No pun intended.
Were these all local rib people, or were they from across the country?
One was from Youngstown, which wasn't bad. They came in second place. The other one, Porky's, I believe, was Milwaukee. And then the third place, I am not sure what state they were. And then there was Miss Sharon, who was from Oakwood. And hers were okay, but they were a little tough. I gotta tell you, ribs are not. There's a perfection when it comes to cooking ribs.
Yes.
There's no doubt. It is a art and a science of cooking ribs. So I'm at Harry's Steakhouse. I'm actually at his patio. You want good ribs? Not only does he have great steaks, and he has a special which he's had for years. It's an early bird special. It used to be $19 for 2 meals between 3 o'clock and 6. It is now $23.99 for 2 meals. You have to purchase 2 drinks with that. But it's a great early bird.
Wow. That's great.
That is
great. Yeah. So again, with that being said, I usually just get like his 4 rib sampler. There's something to die for. I mean, he really doesn't even advertise his ribs. They're delicious.
Homemade sauce, or does he use a specific brand?
He makes his own. Everything's homemade. Everything is made here from scratch.
Wow,
his soups are made from scratch. He's got a butcher shop upstairs that he cuts all his meats. Yeah, that's his claim to fame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Harry. Harry's one of like the greatest people ever. Like back in the day, Tony would show up and Harry would show up to the radio station with like just big, huge trays of food. With burgers and onion rings and all kind of stuff. And it was like such a treat. And Harry's just such a nice guy.
Yeah. Lobster tails. We would show up with lobster tails,
Yes.
Chris. Can you imagine that?
That's good.
Yeah. It was cool. And he's very generous when it comes to different help this out. So
And he was also a big part of helping out with like Coach for Kids benefits that we did.
Absolutely.
It was great, man. Harry's a great guy.
We got to start our own charity.
Yes.
The Seth Williams charity.
The Seth Williams and my daughter's, that's her middle name is Charity. So it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
We can put the money right after her college tuition. Yes.
Yeah, all the funds go to us.
Yeah. Guess what? There's been a lot of charities that's happened to.
Yes, there are.
That Carol Monday and Paul Orlowski knocked on doors.
Right.
It would be nice though to get behind a charity, something like that. I wish, I love Coach for Kids and I love Debbie and all those people. And I wish that we could have carried on like the tradition for Trev and stuff like that. But when Trev passed, it was like everybody just scattered and
I
doesn't
know.
be a part of anything. And so it's so tough. And
Yeah, I always talk about that. It was a great weekend from Friday night to Sunday. I mean, we were at the Hilton Garden Hotel. It was a fun weekend, and you got to meet all the listeners. And it's funny. I mean, I still see people today that I have never met, and of course, my distinctive voice. They recognize me, and I say, "Do you remember Tony Masaccio?" Everybody knows Tony, and they kind of stop and say, "Oh my gosh, you're Tony."
Nice.
It is cool. Thanks to Trev. That's why I'm on this air with you guys. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
here, yeah.
Sure. So
Great that
Tony,
works.
where you been golfing at?
Glad you said that. So this morning I was at Elyria Country Club. So Little John won a foursome at a benefit.
Okay.
So he took myself, a couple of friends, and we played at this country club. And I got to tell you something. You think of Elyria, you think of Lorraine. It's a dump. I mean, I'm driving through there, and it's like I'm going to this country club. It was built in 1905. Still has a gorgeous country club. They grab your golf clubs out of the car. I mean, it's like a prestigious golf club.
Wow.
Which probably has like 300, 400 members. And it is, I mean, I'm driving through the hood to get it to this place. I'm thinking, where is this? So we finally played. It actually rained a little bit, so great place though. So I'm playing golf, and I shot very well. I shot a 93, which is good for me for never playing at a course before. And I kept on missing the hole, and I thought of a premonition this morning while I was playing. I'm missing the hole by 1 inch putting. This happened about 4 or 5 times, which I could have got birds and pars. So I'm thinking to myself, my next life, I'm going to open up a golf course, and instead of having a 3-inch diameter hole, I'm going to make it a 4-inch diameter hole. And I'm going to publicize this, and in parentheses, the older you get, every man needs an extra inch.
or 2 or 3 or whatever. I mean, tell Harry I said hi, Tony.
I will do that.
Are you
All
just
right,
sitting there having
so,
some meals
guys-
tonight?
I'm sorry?
You just sitting down having some dinner tonight?
I am. I'm actually got a shrimp cocktail in front of me, a little salad. I'm going to have one of his sweet potatoes, which is the size of the table.
Oh, jeez.
Well, enjoy, Tone.
Thank you. August 15th, I am going to be I'm going to be at the Feast of the Assumption. So it actually starts that Thursday, which is the 15th. So I will be there the 14th, and we're going to talk about the Little Italy restaurants and who's participating in the Feast of the Assumption.
Great.
And guys, I would love to have you there, whether it be that Saturday morning when I'm on the air or even Sunday morning, and the meals are on me. Don't
All right.
forget. Okay?
We need to make that happen. I'm putting it in the phone right now.
Please put it in the phone.
Yeah, that'd
And
be
you can
fun.
always listen to me every Saturday morning on Flashpoint 1490 WERE between 10 o'clock and 11. I'm talking about local restaurants. In this month, I've been on the air with that Flash Ference for 9 years. Thank you,
Wow.
Mike Trevisano. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here.
It's great.
Thanks,
Have a
Tony.
good one, guys. Always
too.
a pleasure.
All right,
Take
Tony.
care.
Bye.
Take care, man. There goes Tony.
He's got a good job.
Yeah.
4-inch
Worst-
hole. I think I know her.
Yeah, he does have that is a good gig.
Harry's Steakhouse is the best, man.
It's a good place, yeah.
You've been there, right?
I've been to Harry's, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good joint.
Yeah. If I was out there in Elyria and Lorraine, there's a place out there, I don't know if you've ever gone there, called Giovanni's Pizza. You ever eaten there?
No.
Oh,
Good.
might be the best pizza in Ohio. It is so good.
I'm trying. Dude, pizza is so hit or miss for me. I don't even
I
know what
love
kind of
that
pizza
place.
I like. I think I like more of a thinner crust. I'm not into like the deep dish
Right.
and big thick crust. I like a thinner crust, more maybe like a New York style pizza.
See, I don't like the New York style, but I do like I like a true, like the almost like it's like pizza crackers kind of a thing. The real thin crust. I like that.
I like that too.
I don't like a thick. What is that, pan pizza or whatever? I don't like that. But I'm good with a good crust too. I'm all about the crust too. I'm a pizza snob.
I can't stand pepperoni, dude.
Not a huge fan either. When me and my kid order pizza here, he gets pepperoni. I get either sausage or ground beef or ham or something else.
Yeah.
I never get pepperoni. I'm not a big fan.
That's why Bob Francis nickname for me is Sausage Boy. Because he thinks pepperoni is the best, and you can't be pepperoni. Everybody says pepperoni is the best topping of all time. No, sausage is the best topping of all time.
Right.
And so kiss my ass. I just don't like pepperoni. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's so overdone.
And every time you go anywhere that people order pizza, they throw a pepperoni pizza on the table.
Yeah, quit doing that.
Yeah. So.
All right, time to move to Mines.
Yeah, let's move over to Mines, and I guess that's where we'll talk about Sebastian Bach being a lunatic, right?
There you go. You want to hear about Sebastian Bach? And I tweeted at him today. I don't think I've gotten a response.
Who cares? He's a douche.
So thanks, everybody, for listening today. Yes, you are all my friends, and I apologize if I offended you or anybody else. And make sure you go to Facebook and say hi to Shayna and Naomi.
Yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
I'm still getting comments on that, so very good. All right, everybody else, we'll talk to you on Monday with the 4 Horsemen.
That's right.
Looking forward to that.
Should be good.
Thanks. We'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.